My father's still going off, like he's cursing the cops out. He's just going off. Richard comes running across the street. Some people in the store scrapping. It was something going on. There's always something going on at that store. So I'm like, I'm not even going to waste my time or put myself in no type of danger. I'm going to just walk down to another store.
Okay, well, I had to come and inform you that he was unalived.
Persevere, then get back at it again. I said it twice, I hope you got it. I won't say it again. Talk to him. I got a podcast for that. Wanna talk business? I got contracts for that. Hey, 99 problems, got one answer for that. God, it's gonna work out. I drop gems just for that.
What's good? Candy Cane Gang. Gang, gang, gang. It's your girl Kane. What's good, y'all? What's poppin'? What's crackin'? How you doing? How you been? It's another story time. None of the names used in this story time belong to any of these people. Their names are being changed to protect their privacy. Their names are being changed to protect the privacy of the trifling and not the innocent. This story time is allegedly, and it's for entertainment purposes only. We got a different background setting. I decided to do story time out back. See how this goes. This story time is from a long ass time ago, okay? And for legal purposes, I decided to speak only of certain things, okay? But this is my story, so I'm telling it. So, I don't exactly remember how old I was, but I know I was very, very young. Maybe like in my early 20s. And I know it was around the time when I was working in Bushwick at this same center. So most of the time, certain days, I would stay at my mother's house. I had literally just moved out on my own. And I was used to having all of my siblings, my mother and my father there. Like, I grew up in a very large household, okay? I am the oldest. 6 of us, and I'm the oldest, okay? So, living alone, it was just me and a cat. Sassy cat. It's quiet. It's just like, it's too quiet. I need to hear noise. I need to see my brothers knucking if you buck. I need to see my sisters arguing, or my mother and father. Like, it took a lot to get used to being alone in this apartment. So most of the time when I would get off work, I would either be hanging with Maribel, Tika, and Tangi, or I would go to my mother's house. So it was like a back and forth thing. I was really barely home, okay? Or if Richard was around, Richard would come around, spend the night, starch, get thrown out, and then I would just leave, go to my mother's house, okay? This was the cycle. So around this time, this was around the time too where me and Richard had broken up. It's like our first breakup. Like I said, we was broken up. So I'm just out, I'm outside. I'm going to work. I'm hanging out with my friends, hanging out with my family. Things that he didn't want me to do. This particular time, y'all, I was staying at my mother and my father's house. They was living in the projects in Brownsville. So the days that I would get off work, I would go straight to my mother's house, like take the L train to the C train, walk down Rockaway to my mother's house. Or the days I didn't have to work, I would go to my house, grab some clothes, like change her clothes, make sure that Sassy was fed, she's lit up and taken care of, leave. Sometimes I would walk to my mother's house, walk to Brownsville, or I would take the 3 train. I took the 3 train a lot, and my mother and my father used to always tell me, like, you have to change your cycle around. Like, you can't keep taking the same route every single day, because you never know what people are watching you. And y'all know I was young, and sometimes when my mother and father used to talk, I used to just look at them like, I didn't feel like I knew everything. I just felt like, it's ridiculous. Like, why do you keep saying this? Like, who's watching me? Like, who am I for somebody to be watching me? Just one of these days, I'm coming off the 3 train and I'm walking to my mother's house. I'm walking from the 3 train. I'm not gonna say the block. Y'all from Brownsville, you know what I'm talking about. So I send my mother a text, and I'm like, I'm heading your way. I'm on my way. And this is during the sidekick phone days, okay? So y'all know what era I'm speaking of. I was obsessed with the sidekick phone. I had been robbed numerous times for this phone, y'all, okay? Numerous times. And I used to keep the phone in a phone case on my waist. My mother used to be like,
why the fuck do you have that phone case on your waist like that? The phone needs to be in your purse or in your pocket.
Once again, here goes the stare. In my pocket or in my purse. I don't know, y'all. I just wanted the phone case on my side because that was the trend. Leather phone case with the phone inside. Everybody's walking around thinking they cute or they fly. So there you have it. I used to get robbed a lot at the clubs, at the store, and it would be like discreet robbed, okay? The phone will be on my waist. I go in the store, I'm paying for something, come out of the store, go to get my phone out, phone's gone. I wouldn't even know the phone is gone. Like that. Let's get into the story. I'm coming from the train station and I'm walking to my mother's house. I got this phone case, this big ass sidekick. Okay, it was black. This was like the last edition, I believe, that they had made. So I had this sidekick in the phone case on my belt. The phone case was attached to my belt. I started wearing it like that so nobody was able to snatch the phone case off. I'm walking down this street. I got my headphones and I'm just walking. Now the music wasn't loud because they used to complain about that too. The music was not loud. So I just used to, have it in my ears. And I would have it in my ears to keep wiggers from talking to me because every time I'm walking, it's dudes in front of the store. They be like,
hey, how you doing, sweetheart? How you doing, ma? What's your name? Can I walk with you? Oh, you look cute. You mad cute. Excuse me. Hello, ma. Excuse me, miss.
So I had these headphones in my ear so I can tune them out. Because like 10 times out of 10, if they see headphones in your ear, or if they see you on the phone, they won't say nothing to you. Some of them. Just walking down this block, y'all. Got the headphones in. And there's like a group of wiggers in front of the store. And they're like, they're doing that. They're like,
hey, how you doing, miss?
And I would just walk. I'll be walking straight ahead. Like, I would be tunnel vision just going down that block, y'all. Literally, okay? So I just keep walking, y'all. I keep tunnel vision on where I'm going. I never really stop, say anything, or give anybody any type of conversation. We're gonna go ahead and fast forward. This may be like the following week or maybe like 2 weeks now, okay? Everything was fine. I was still doing the same routine walk, taking the 3 train, getting off, walking to my mother's house, walking through Brownsville to get to my mother's building. But one particular day, y'all, I text my mom like, hey, I'm gonna spend the week, maybe the weekend at your house, like go to work from your house, this, that, and third. My mother's like, all right, that's fine, that's not a problem. So I packed my stuff, I gets a cab. I took a cab, 910, if everybody remembers. I takes a 910 cab to my mother's house. Uber did not exist at this time, and neither did Lyft. I get to my mother's house, and I'm just there, going to work from her house, coming home. So one of these days, y'all, I went to hang out with some friends, and I ended up stopping by my house to make sure that Sassy was fed, her litter pan was changed, I sat there with her. We played with the toys, this, that, and the third. And I also had my neighbor had like a spare key. She would go in and make sure Sassy was good too. So now that I'm deciding to leave to go back to my mother's house, y'all, I takes the 3 train. Now it's not late in the day, it's still early in the day. Maybe like 12 or 1 o'clock, like afternoon. It's still early. I'm coming off this train, I'm walking. There's like a corner store directly at the train station. As soon as you come down the stairs, y'all, it's a store right there. I was gonna stop in that store, but it was like some people in the store scrapping. It was something going on. There's always something going on at that store. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna waste my time or put myself in no type of danger. I'm gonna just walk down to another store. You know about the Brooklyn blocks? There's a corner store on every corner, okay? Or in the middle of every block. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna go to that store. I'll go to another one. So I'm just walking, y'all. And I goes into another store that's in the middle of the block. I wasn't even towards the end of the block yet. So I goes into this store, and as I'm going in, there's like this tall, dark-skinned guy comes behind me. He's like,
hold the door, hold the door.
So I holds the door, which I shouldn't have did that. And he comes in. He's like,
thank you.
So I go to the back and I get me, something to drink. Got me some chips. And as I'm walking through the other aisle, I notices this guy in that aisle I was just in. And he's watching me. He's looking over the shelves because he's tall. So I looks at him and I'm just like saying to myself, like, I'm not in the mood. The first thing I'm thinking, like, he's probably gonna try to holler. So I get to the register, y'all. I'm paying for my stuff. And there was this man He was sitting on a crate and he had like a wooden cane, like a wooden walking cane, but it kind of looked like it was like custom handmade. And he just kept looking at me. He's like,
How you doing today, sweetheart?
he was Spanish. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like,
I just feel the need to tell you, you should be careful today.
so I'm like, be careful today.
Yeah, just be careful. Watch your surroundings.
So I'm like, okay. So y'all, I pay for my stuff and I leave out the store. As I'm leaving out the store, I notices this same guy coming out the store. But he didn't have no bag or nothing. He didn't buy anything. So I start putting some pep in my step, like I'm just walking real fast, okay? The New York step. So I'm walking. And I got this bag and I'm just walking, okay? Now in my other hand, I had a flea comb. My mother had wanted me to bring a flea comb back to her house for her cats because she had let me borrow it for Sassy. It's like a rubber handle and then it was like a long metal piece about this thick, and you use it to get the fleas off the cats. So I'm just walking, y'all, and every couple of seconds, like whenever I would get to a corner to cross the street, I would just turn around, like, and this dude would be behind me. Not close behind me, but behind me. He's just looking. He's watching. He's looking at me. So he had on black jeans and like a dark blue Champion hoodie, okay? And he had some black Timbs on, the fill boot. So I'm like saying to myself, like, is it me or this dude's following me? That's what I'm thinking to myself. I crosses the street, y'all, and I'm walking, and I'm coming up on another corner store. Like, let me just go into this corner store. If he follows me in this store, then I know he's following me. So I goes into the corner store. I turn around. I see the guy walk past. Like, he walked past the door. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just me. I'm just bugging the fuck out. He's not following me. I stood in the store for a little while, and I sent a text to my mother like, hey, I'm on my way. His daddy came over at this place because my father used to hang out some days with some of his friends at this place in the area. So my mother was like, yeah, he should be over there because he left like an hour ago, so he should be over there. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm calling my father's phone, and my father's not answering the phone, so I send him a text. I leaves out of the store, y'all, and I waited in this store maybe for like 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes. Leaves out of the store, and I don't see the guy. But right on the side of this store, when you come out, there's a phone booth. It's like a double phone booth, okay? When I come out from the store to go around, as I gets past the phone booth, y'all, I seen this person jump up, like, and I couldn't make it out. I'm just like, because it just scared the fuck out of me. So I seen this person jump up, and they grabbed me from behind, like, put their arms went under my arms, and they grabbed me like this, and like trying to spin me around, and I'm just like I'm trying to see the person's face, but he wouldn't let me see his face. He pushes me into the gate, because there's like another establishment that was next door to the store, but they weren't open, so they had like the metal gate down. He pushes me into that gate, and he's pulling on my phone case. Like, he's pulling it. But remember I told y'all I had the phone case connected to my belt. So I'm just like, stop. Like, I'm screaming, stop. I dropped my stuff that I had bought from the store, and I start swinging on him. Now, I hit him really hard in his head and in his face with this bag, the other bag that had the flea comb. When I hit him, y'all, his nose starts leaking. And he realizes that, and he's like, he backs up, but he's still holding on to my waist. He backs up, and he's like,
damn, you one strong bitch.
He hits me in my face, y'all. And me and him start scrapping. We're in the middle of this block scrapping. Okay? Like, blow for blow. And he's still pulling and yanking and pulling and yanking. So, there's like people coming out the store and they're looking. I was like, it's, Brownsville is lit all day, all night. All right? It's people everywhere. It's somewhere. Somebody sees something. So there's like other men that's standing on the corner and they're looking. They're just standing there looking. So I'll never forget, it was this one dude. He had a Con Edison uniform on. He had like a cup of hot coffee in his hand. He had like the construction Timbs on, gold teeth. He's like,
Yo, Ma. Yo.
So I'm like, help me. He's like,
y'all a couple? Like y'all in a relationship? Or you don't know this nigga at all?
So I'm like, I don't know him. He's trying to rob me. So the dude come walking over, y'all, and he threw the cup of coffee. Like, he threw it on the boy. And the boy pulled, and he yanked my purse and the phone case. And he ran across the street with my shit. So the Con Edison dude ran behind him. But he didn't follow him. He came back across the street, and he's like,
Yeah, like, you know, I ain't from over here, so I'm not about to run up in no buildings, like, but I'm about to call 911.
so when he goes to call 911, they was already approaching. There was 2 cop cars, and then there was 2 on feet. Like, where the fuck were y'all at from the beginning? The police and everything comes. They're on the corner. Now, mind you, I'm literally seconds away from where my father used to stand and talk to his homeboys. So these homeboys of my father, they're like, yo, they calling my father. And my father comes out of the store that's across the street, and they're like,
That's your daughter. Ain't that your daughter? Ain't that one of your daughters?
so my father looked, and he comes running across the street. This man runs in the middle of traffic, y'all, and he's coming across the street. So he's like,
What the fuck is going on? That's my daughter. That's my daughter.
so the cops is like, sir, hold on. So the ambulance came, because this dude had punched me in my face a couple of times, and you know, my face was kind of swole or whatever. My father's like,
What the fuck is going on? What's going on?
I'm crying. I'm like, yeah, this guy robbed me. And you know, we was fighting. He hit me in my face. He hit me in my head. You know, so my father's like,
What fucking God?
the cop is like, we trying to figure this out. Let us do our job. So my father was like,
Where the fuck was y'all at? Y'all know me standing on this corner harassing wiggers, and now all of a sudden a woman gets robbed and y'all nowhere to be found.
that's the truth. So y'all, the cops is asking everybody, did y'all see anything? Anybody see anything? Everybody is like, oh, we ain't seen nothing. So the Con Edison dude was like,
I seen it because I threw my coffee on the wigger.
the police is talking to the Con Edison guy, y'all. Like, they're really trying to figure out what's going on. So the Con Edison guy is telling him,
Like, yeah, you know, I seen her coming down the block. I seen homie jump from behind the motherfucking phone booth. I thought he knew her or some shit. You know how these kids be out here playing. Like, I thought they knew each other. But when she said, help me, then that's when I seen some bullshit going on.
so the cops is asking him if he wanted to write a statement. He's like, no. He's just telling them what's going on. I wrote a statement or whatever. While I'm writing this police statement, you know, I'm still crying and shooken up. My father's still going off. Like, he's cursing the cops out. He's just going off. Richard comes running across the street. Because remember I told y'all Richard worked in the area. Richard comes running across the street. He's like,
Yo, what the fuck's going on? What happened? What's going on? You okay? Are you okay?
so I'm just like, I'm looking at him like, where the fuck did you come from? He's like,
Yeah, somebody came and told me they seen you over here with the police and the ambulance and like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, so I came running over here. What's going on? Who did it? How they look? Cause I know every nigga over here.
so my father looking at him like, I'm just like, yeah, this dude took my phone, he took my purse, like, he took everything from me, y'all. My wallet was in there, my ID, my bank cards. He took everything. That's what was inside of my purse, and then he took my phone. So I just had all these people in my face. It felt like the hood paparazzi, okay, just,
What's going on? What happened?
Are you okay? Who was the guy? What does he look like? What did he have on? What happened? How did this take place?
How did this start? What do you remember? Do you remember this? Do you remember that?
so y'all, after I was done with the statement and everything, Richard called himself running through Brownsville looking for the person, okay? And I gave him the most description that I can give, okay? I guess in my mother's house, my father's still going off. Like, my father was still hyped up, still going off. He done got on the phone, called all his, you know, old school homeboys. He's telling them what happened. They're all ready to form some type of vigilante group or whatever. So my mama came and just like,
Let the police do their job. Let the police do their job.
the police come to my mother's house and they escort us to the precinct. While we in the back seat of this police car, my mother's phone rings. So my mother is looking. My mother looks at her phone and then she looks at me like. So I'm like, what? She's like,
Why is your phone calling me?
So I'm like, what? So I'm like, answer it. She answered it, and it was this dude. He's like, yeah, who this? My mother said,
Who the fuck is this?
so he's like, well, I see your name listed as mommy, so I just want to let you know I got your daughter's. If you want your daughter's back, meet me at this place, and I want $500. So, and he hangs up the phone, y'all. So my mother starts yelling at the cop that's driving. She's like,
Hello, excuse me. Somebody just called my phone from my daughter's phone.
so the cop was like, what? So y'all, when we pull up into the parking lot, we get out the car. The cop is like, can I see your phone? So my mother hand the phone to the cop to show, the phone number or whatever. The cop is trying to call my phone back, and the phone is just going to voicemail. So y'all, we goes into the precinct, and we go upstairs, okay? When we get upstairs, they're like, we're going to give y'all some books. We're going to give y'all some books. It might take y'all hours, and it may take y'all days. But we need you to look through the books, and we need you to pick out what this person looks like if you happen to see him in a book. So I'm like, all right. Before I looked through the book, I had to sit and talk to this other cop, all right? And he was a complete asshole. I'm explaining the whole situation to him, and he just kept trying to make it seem like the story was made up, or I knew the person that did whatever they did. And I'm just like, I don't know who this person is. I'm just randomly walking from the train to get to my mother's house. I goes into a store. This person follows me into a store, and then follows me to another store, and now I'm attacked and robbed. So him and my mother gets into like a small argument, because my mother is like,
What are you trying to say? My daughter just explained to you what just took place, like what she went through.
so the cop is like, well, I'm just saying, because she's saying she saw him following her, and then she's saying when he grabbed her from behind, she was trying to see his face. Sir, I seen the man's face. Why else would you have me come upstairs and look through all these freaking mugshot books if you don't believe that I seen the man's face? After sitting there going back and forth with this cop, this tall white guy walks in. Kind of looks like Steven Seagal. He walks in and he's like,
hey, I got it from here.
So the cop gets up and he like closes the book, but like slams it some type of way, okay? Just a complete eggplant head. So he walks over to the table and he's like,
Hi, how you doing? My name is Detective.
let's call this man Johnson. He was like,
How you doing? My name is Detective Johnson. I'm going to be helping you with this case.
and I'm like, okay. So he sits down and he's like,
Can you explain to me what happened? I know you keep explaining the story over and over again, but I need you to talk to me now. Don't worry about none of that.
so I starts explaining everything to him, y'all. Everything again, all over again. So he's like, okay, that's what I thought. And he had like the police report in his hand. So he opens up these books and he's like,
Now, basically, they told you what you had to do. You're going to look through these books. You're going to see if you can find who this person was in this book. I guarantee he's got a mugshot somewhere in this book.
so I'm like, all right. So y'all, me and my mother sat in this office maybe for like 2 or 3 hours looking through these books, okay? And we did not see this guy's picture in the 5 to 6 books that they handed us. And then they came with a cart, like a gray metal cart with more mugshot books. So I'm just like, there's no way I'm about to look through all these freaking books. So the Detective Johnson is like,
Oh no, like we told you, it'll take hours or it'll take days, weeks. We're going to get this scumbag off the streets.
so I'm like, all right. My mother is looking in the books or whatever with me. Like every time I would flip a page, my mother's looking, Not that she know what the guy looked like. She just looking. So she starts noticing, like she's noticing people that used to go to the school that she worked at. So she would like make a face expression, or she would go, And this same asshole cop, not the detective, this other asshole cop, he comes over and he's like, did you find him? Did you see him? And my mother was like, no. So I'm looking at him. I'm like, if I see the person, I'm gonna let y'all know. Y'all, this man kept coming to the table. Like, he's literally sitting there watching our face. Kept coming to the table. Is that him? And I'm like, no. I literally said, if I see the man in the book, I will come and tell you. He walks out the room and he comes back to the table and he's got 7 mugshots, like big mugshots. And he's like, yeah, we just got seven people in. Now you said he had a hood on his head. So he took this Sharpie marker and drew hoods on the people's heads. And he's like, it's this one, isn't it? It's that one. So I'm like, it's none of them. Y'all. So Detective Johnson is like,
I told you that I got this. I'm on this case now. You don't need to come back over here no more.
he's like, all right, I was just trying to help out. And then he just walks out of the office. So y'all, I did not find the guy in this book. So the detective is like,
You can come back tomorrow morning. How about 9:30 in the morning?
so my mother is like, all right. So y'all, my mother says,
Oh wait, I forgot to tell you. Somebody called from my daughter's phone, and they asking for money.
so the detective was like,
Asking for money.
Like, yeah, they want $500. They want me to meet them, and they want $500, and then they'll give my daughter her stuff back. This is what the guy said on the phone to me when we was in the backseat of the police car.
so Detective Johnson is like, what's your daughter's phone number? So he tries to call the number, y'all. My phone's going to voicemail. So as soon as we get downstairs to this precinct, my mother's phone rings again. It rings again. And it's my phone. So the cop was like, answer it and put it on speakerphone. So my mother is like,
Yeah,
and the guy is like, yeah, so did you decide? Do you want to meet up with me? So Detective Johnson is like,
yeah, where you want me to meet you at?
he's like, you can meet me on Pickin at the T-Mobile. And make sure you bring $500 and you better not play no games with me neither. Or I'm gonna hurt your daughter because I know where she live at because I got her ID. And he hangs up. So the cop is like, do you have like an online account where, you can track your phone? And I'm like, no. Like, all right, we're gonna go meet him and see if he's bluffing. So y'all, we get into this detective car, unmarked car, and we drive on Pickin, okay? So he finds like a little parking spot and he's like,
Y'all gonna get out and y'all go to the T-Mobile.
and he told my mother to send a text to my phone and tell them that we're there at the T-Mobile. So my mother is like, all right. So y'all, we does all of that and we're waiting at this T-Mobile and waiting and waiting and waiting and fucking waiting. He didn't show up. The cop ends up driving us home, okay? And I'm just telling the cop, like, this man has my ID and he's making threats towards me. So he's like,
Well, we can have police sit outside your house, and we can have police sit outside your mother's house. It's up to you.
so my mother's like,
Both. We needed that both.
and he did just that, y'all. So I had to go home and I had to make sure that my cat was okay. I had to get a change of clothes. And when I got there, there was actually a car sitting in front of the building, a police car. Let's go ahead and fast forward. It's maybe like 2 or 3 days have went by. My mother wasn't getting no more calls to her phone, nothing. Detective Johnson calls us to the precinct. It's probably like 8 in the morning. He calls my mother's phone and he's like, he needs us to come to the precinct. They picked up some people and they got one person. We feel like we found the person that fits the description that robbed you. We get to the precinct, y'all, and there's like, we go into this room and there's like 6 other people that's sitting in the room. A little boy with his father. It's like a little Indian, short Indian lady. It's this black lady. And it's this Puerto Rican, like an older Puerto Rican dude. And then it's this Puerto Rican woman. So I'm just like, I'm looking at all of them. So Detective Johnson is like,
Yeah, all of these victims here have been attacked either the same day as you or the day after you, okay? And they have all gave similar descriptions that you had gave, and we feel like we picked this person up. So we're gonna take two at a time. You're gonna go in, you and your mom. You're gonna wait. We let them in, and you take as long as you need.
So I'm just like, all right. So y'all, it goes into this. It's like a hallway. It was like a dark hallway, and then a light comes on, and it's like the lineup room. Like I had never seen nothing like this in real life. Like I always seen it on TV. So me and my mother walks in, and I am so small, y'all. I couldn't really see. So this is me, and this is like the window. So I'm like, so they went and they got some crates, and I had to stand on the crates. The crates had like little files in it, I guess police files. So I had to stand on these crates, and Detective Johnson's holding my arm like to make sure I don't fall, and my mother's on the other side of me. So he's like, it's like an intercom. He pressed the button and he's like, all right, bring them in. So they start coming in, one by one. So I'm just looking, and when number 4 comes in, I'm like I'm just staring at him, and they're all staring, they're like, so Detective Johnson is like,
do you recognize any one of them?
And I'm like, yeah, it's number 4. And y'all, I ain't no snitch or nothing, but this dude punched me in my face like 4 to 5 times, okay? And in my head. Detective Johnson's like,
are you sure?
And I'm like, yeah. So he says on the microphone, number 4, can you walk up to the window, please? So number 4 walks up to the window, and he's got this smirk on his face, like, I need you to repeat the lines that's on that paper. He looks at the paper and he's like,
damn, you one strong bitch.
and then he turns around and goes back into the lineup. I said, yep, that's him. So y'all, now it's time for the little boy. Little boy was next after me, because remember he said 2 people at a time. The little boy comes up. Now me and my mother stand on the other end of the hallway, like out of the window frame. The little boy gets on the crate too, because he was short in height too. He gets on the crate, and he's like,
Oh, I don't recognize none of them.
so the Detective Johnson's
like, are you sure?
He's like,
yeah, I don't recognize none of them. I don't recognize none of them.
So the little boy father is like,
listen, motherfucker. If you see that piece of shit back there, you better say something. Don't come up in here and start getting scared. Do you see the motherfucker back there?
and he was like,
No, I don't see him.
Like he was so scared, y'all. So the detective made every last dude come up to the window and read the line off the paper. When number 4 came to the window, he had the same stupid smile on his face, and he's like,
now go run to your daddy now, you little punk bitch.
He like flexed after he said it. The little boy fell off the fucking crate, y'all.
That's not him.
The little boy father was like,
yes, it is. That's that motherfucker. Cause why you act like that? You didn't do that shit with nobody else. What's that? That's him, officer.
Detective Johnson is like,
I need your son to do the ID, because he's the one that was attacked.
so everybody picked out number 4, y'all. Okay, everybody picked number 4 except the little boy. So now they end up arresting him. We have to go to court. We're going back and forth to court dates, and eventually some of the people, they weren't showing up to court. Okay, they weren't showing up. They had stopped cooperating for whatever strange reason. I guess the strange reason was they lived in the same area as this boy or his family. I don't know, y'all. So they end up releasing him on his own recognizance. Detective Johnson was pissed off. He's like,
I can't fucking believe this shit. Like, this doesn't make any sense. That's why these motherfuckers keep committing crimes and shit. Like,
he's upset. So y'all, I had police activity at my house, at my door. They would sit outside my building, or they would be in the hallway. okay, or they would sit outside my mother's house. I had this for maybe like a month and a half, okay. It got to the point where every time I went somewhere in Brownsville on picking, I kept seeing this dude. He would see me, and he started to antagonize me. You know, he would laugh. He'd be like,
Yeah, that's why, that's the bitch right there. I took her shit, I robbed her.
like, so y'all, I would call Detective Johnson and tell him, like, yeah, I seen him. He said this, or he did this, this, and this. He would send police there quick, and nothing. One night I'm home, y'all, and I'm watching TV. It's probably like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And there's like a knock at my door. I mean, a hard ass police knock. So I'm just like, gets up out the bed, and I goes to the door, I look through the peephole, and I just see a bunch of police. Like, the whole hallway is nothing but police. So I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? So y'all, I open up the door, and Detective Johnson is there. He's like,
Hello, how you doing, Miss Cade?
he called me by my real name, but it's Miss Kane for the story time. He's like,
Hi, how you doing? I'm sorry to knock on your door so late, but I need to speak with you.
so I'm just like, okay. So he comes in, and I think like 5 other cops come in. The rest of them just standing in the hallway. So he's like,
Would you like to sit down, or?
I'm like, I don't know, it's up to you. I don't know what's going on. So he's like,
Alright, well, I'm gonna just cut to the chase, let you know what's going on. Have you heard or seen anything else from this perpetrator?
and I'm just like, no, I haven't seen him anymore since the last time I called you and I told you that, you know, he was bothering me at the pizza shop and at the 99-cent store. So he's like,
Okay, do you know anybody who may know him and may have a problem with him?
and I'm just like, no, I don't know this guy at all.
Okay, well, I had to come and inform you that he was unalived.
So I'm just standing there looking at him like, and he's just staring at me like,
If you didn't hear about this, you didn't know anything about this.
so I'm like, no, like, my ears is not on the street like that, you know, I'm not outside like that. So he's like,
Yeah, this happened in the wee hours of the morning, maybe, 2, 3 in the morning. So I was trying to see if you knew about it, if you heard anything.
I said, no, I'm just now hearing it from you.
That's why we're here. We just wanted to let you know. So I guess you have nothing to worry about anymore.
So I'm like,
Alright, well, if you happen to hear anything regarding this situation, you have my card. You can call me and let me know.
I'm like, okay. And they leave. So y'all, I get on the phone instantly and I call Mama Kane. I'm like, Ma. My mother's like, what is it? What happened? Are you okay? What's going on? What's going on? You know, like, she's hysterical. So I'm just like, no, the police just came to my house. So she's like, for what? I'm like, Detective Johnson and his boys. She's like, what happened? So I'm like, yeah, they said that this boy was unalived early this morning, and they wanted to know if I knew about it. Like, what? I'm like, yeah. So I kind of felt like, you know, they just wanted to see, like, if, you know, if I'm involved in street justice, y'all, allegedly. I had to see a therapist, y'all, after this whole thing, because I had a hard time walking down the street and there's people behind me, you know, and living in New York City, that's kind of hard, because when you walk in, these sidewalks be crowded. It be people walking behind you, on the side of you, you know. So I had a hard time, y'all. I'm walking to go to work, and if it was somebody behind me, I would stop and be like, go ahead, you can go. Or I was constantly looking over my shoulder, y'all, constantly. You know, once it was over with, I think he let the police activity stay at my building and my mother's building. He let it ride out for the rest of the week. And after that, that was it. And I still didn't feel comfortable, because I'm just like, you know, I don't know what he did with my ID card. I don't know who he told about this. I just don't know. And he just was like, you know, I totally understand. I definitely understand that. You have my personal phone number. You have my desk number. If anything, you can call me. So I'm like, all right. But yo, I just stayed at my mother's house. I stayed at my mother's house for months because I was afraid. Richard tried to come back around me after that, but it wasn't working, buddy. I'm still not fucking with you. So y'all, that's the end of the story time. That's the end of the story time. If you like this story time, give this video a thumbs up and leave some comments. Has something like this ever happened to you before? If you didn't like this story time, you already know the routine. I really don't give a damn, but make sure you hit that like button. So wherever you at in this crazy ass world, because you know this world is still crazy, make sure wherever you go, whether it be to the store or whether it be at work, make sure you say don't forget. They're gonna be like, don't forget what? What are you talking about? Don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell another motherfucking friend that Mrs. Kane is on the motherfucking tube. Peace, and I love y'all, and y'all be blessed.
It's gonna work.